Arrest and homicide charges were filed against a man from Monroe County today in connection to a 3-year-old investigation.
Michael Horvath from Ross Township was arrested for the death of a Lehigh County woman who went missing in 2013.
On November 22, 2013, Jeanette Grimm called her 41-year-old daughter, Holly Grimm, a couple of times with no answer. She tried her once again before going to Holly's trailer, as it was highly uncommon for her not to answer her phone. She found Holly's trailer in a mess for the first time ever. Even stranger was that Holly's asthma inhaler, something she never left without, was still there. But Holly wasn't. What could have happened? Why was the trailer messy? Where could Holly have gone without her inhaler? Welcome back to Mysterious Hook. Today we'll be looking into the 9-year-old cold case of Holly Grimm, which was solved after 9 years. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and click on the notification bell to get the latest content. Without any delay, let's get into the case. The story begins in Macungie, Pennsylvania, the second oldest municipality in Lehigh County. It is part of the Lehigh Valley metropolitan region and is a suburb of Allentown. Currently, Lower Macungie is recognized for its beautiful home complexes. It has become one of the most desired areas in the Lehigh Valley for families who have chosen to reside here because of the township's beautiful environment, acres of open space, and exceptional schools. Holly Grimm was born to Jeanette and Richard Grimm in 1972. She liked bowling from her teenage years, and she used to play regularly on the weekends with her friends. She was a great Dale Earnhardt supporter. She worked at Allen Organ in Macungie, Pennsylvania. Holly was very close to her mother, as they always spoke on the phone before Holly went to work. They lived very close to each other, as they both lived in the Red Maple Trailer Park. Holly didn't know many of her neighbors, but Tammy was the one she was really close to. Holly and Tammy used to drop their kids off at the school bus stop together in the mornings regularly. On the morning of the 22nd of November 2013, Jeanette got very tense when Holly didn't pick up her calls thrice. She drove over to Holly's trailer and saw that Holly's car was still in the driveway. She had a key for Holly's trailer, so she flung open the door and was stunned as there was complete silence. When she walked inside, she observed a coffee mug on the floor and an ashtray on its side beside the couch, and immediately felt a chill run down her spine. She was stunned when she discovered that Holly's asthma inhaler was still on the nightstand. She knew that Holly never left the house without her inhaler. As quickly as she could, she left the trailer. As soon as she re-entered the vehicle, she sensed that something was awry. She went to Holly's boyfriend's house in the hopes of finding her there. But when he informed Jeanette that he hadn't really seen Holly recently, things became more serious. Jeanette heard it and was silent. Something suddenly entered her thoughts. She phoned Holly's office in some hope, but she was informed that Holly had never shown up for work and had also never called to let anybody know she would be on a break. Jeanette was worried, as many unwanted views were emerging in her mind. She immediately contacted the Macungie Police Department, as she was left with no option. The police arrived quickly, and without wasting a second, Jeanette briefed them on everything and gave them Holly's trailer keys. Holly's car keys were on the floor by the front entrance, and her glasses were on the coffee table when the officers entered the trailer. As they looked around the trailer, they saw a coffee stain that was still damp. A lone black button was discovered as well, which went with nothing in Holly's wardrobe when they checked. As they looked around some more, they saw that the rear door of the trailer was open and that there was no evidence of forced entry, but there was a brilliant crimson stain outside the entrance. After being tested, it was revealed to be human DNA, but it wasn't Holly's. The forensic examiner said the fact that it hadn't been exposed to any changes in its surroundings suggests that it was only recently left on the door, which was useful information. When police told Jeanette about this, she said that Holly never left the home that way, and that the back door was always closed. It was clear to the police that the trailers were packed in closely together. They decided to find out whether or not any of their neighbors had noticed anything unusual. The policemen approached the trailers close to Holly's and started questioning the residents there. Holly's close friend Tammy was the first to speak with the police because of their strong friendship. Tammy told the police that, as always, she and Holly waited for the bus together that morning. Tammy said that after dropping their kids to the bus stop and a light conversation, the two of them then went their separate ways to their trailers. After that, Holly went to her car and got in. But just after a minute, Holly got out of her vehicle and walked towards her trailer as if she had heard something. She then stopped and turned her head as if she had heard something behind her trailer. She looked for it, but seemed to see nothing. After a while, Tammy came out and heard a loud thud coming from Holly's trailer. She said that when she left to go to work, Holly's vehicle was still in the driveway, which was out of the ordinary given that Holly always departed for work before she did. Despite these strange events, she did not take any action or notify anyone. When the police couldn't find Holly's phone, they called AT&T for assistance. The company said that Jeanette had called Holly 3 times, as she had already told the police. They said that the phone was still active and indicated that Holly was heading northeast. But after that point, they were unable to determine the phone's location. According to them, maybe it was turned off. Maybe it was destroyed. The police now decided to go in depth into Holly's life. When they went to Allen, Oregon, where Holly worked, everyone was shocked about what happened to Holly. But when they questioned some of Holly's co-workers, they informed them about something strange. They told the police that their colleague, Michael Horvath, was running very late that morning. According to them, Michael Horvath was very punctual. The police then decided to look for Michael. But when they took an in-depth look at his life, many strange things emerged. Michael G. Horvath was born in 1967. In 2013, he was living in Ross Township, Macungie. He lived with his wife, named Kathy. According to the locals of Ross Township, Michael was very mysterious. He was a very strange type of character in the office, too. Michael had also cheated on his wife with a woman named Nicole. He had met her on an online website in July 2013. She claimed that she never developed romantic feelings for Michael, despite their frequent online conversations. They had only met once in person, but she had felt uneasy around him even then. She declined his invitation the next time because she had plans to accompany her husband to the mall the next day. Michael made a weird remark in response, telling her that he would follow them around the mall. After all this, she was still in touch with him. On the morning that Holly vanished, he had even given her a call. Michael also had a farm bordered by forests, and he often went into them to hunt deer. He even had a trailer in the woods that was soundproof and had a winch on it to skin and cut up animals. Michael was not a fan of serial killer shows until the debut of Dexter on television. Like Dexter, Michael wanted to be a serial murderer. He really admired the character of Dexter. The series finale aired in September of 2013. 2 months after the series finale aired, Holly Grimm went missing from her trailer. On the 12th of December 2013, the police questioned Michael for the first time. When the police saw Michael walk into the interrogation room, they decided he wasn't a big threat. They saw him as a balding and overweight man who was restless. The police only questioned him about his tardiness to work that day. He said that on his way to work, his car got a flat tire, so he pulled over to an off-ramp to inflate it so he could go home and change it. Holly's trailer was located 2.5 miles from the off-ramp. Michael then drove home to change the tire and then drove back to his workplace. This is why he arrived late to work that day. They were unable to hold him due to a lack of evidence. In the end, they did nothing and let him go. In March of 2014, after working for more than 20 years, Michael decided to leave his job at Allen, Oregon. The police were still in the search of the missing Holly Grimm, and when they heard about Michael leaving his job, they decided to keep an eye on him. Finally, in August of 2015, police spoke with Michael's wife, Kathy. They talked to her about the day Holly Grimm went missing. She said that when she arrived home from work, she found Michael's dirty shoes in the bedroom and the lights on, and thus it was established that Michael had missed a day of work. She added more in her statement and said that she had seen Michael doing something in the woods near the house, but she wasn't sure what he was actually doing. Not long after that, Kathy was rummaging around in the garbage when she came upon a bottle of chloroform. She also discovered the date books he used to keep track of Holly's whereabouts. When she found them, she was completely broken, but she confessed all this to the police. But even after all this, she was certain Michael was innocent and incapable of committing a crime like murder. In March 2016, the police came up with an idea. They left a paper message on Michael's truck's windshield. The message implied that they were aware of what he did to Holly Grimm. They were hoping that maybe Michael would be so frightened that he'd visit the place he had put Holly, but nothing like this happened. They again interviewed Michael in September of 2016. In this interview, he came clean about having delivered some products to Holly's house in 2012. He sold a dryer and washer to her. The police were also able to take a blood sample of Michael. They took a blood sample from him because he claimed to have been hurt while retrieving the washer and dryer. But thanks to the great lab work, they were able to determine that the blood on the door was recent, not of years ago. When the DNA results came back, they confirmed that the blood on Holly's trailer's back door belonged to him. This was enough for the police to get a warrant to search his home. They knew that what they were going to uncover would be disturbing. At first, the area of his farm was combed through. During their investigation, the cops came upon a shallow embankment. Small bone fragments and a couple of rib bones were discovered there. Furthermore, they discovered a fragment of scapula that had what seemed to be a gunshot wound. They suspected he had dug up the bones and torched them in a fire pit on his land. The digger who made the discovery informed the police that he suspected some of the dirt and pebbles covering the remains had been brought in from elsewhere. The forensics team confirmed that Holly's remains were among those analyzed. It took many days to search his house completely. They discovered a diary where Holly, her child, her boyfriend, and every movement of their day-to-day life was recorded. The notebook even included the on-off times of Holly's kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom lights. Loud sounds from within Holly's trailer would likewise be noted. What followed was far creepier. He'd drawn a map of all the shadowy spots in the area around Holly's trailer. He even had pictures of Holly from where he'd gone to her home to deliver the products. Police also discovered photos of Holly's bedroom. They were taken from when he had entered the trailer while Holly was not home. It wasn't over yet. The diary also tracked the whereabouts of other women, including a high school student he had been pursuing. They discovered lockpicking tools that he had used to get inside the trailer. They also found multiple pairs of handcuffs, a bottle of chloroform, and stun guns. A gun, which police believed to be the murder weapon, was also discovered. Among his possessions, law enforcement discovered disturbing images of women being rendered unconscious with chloroform, and a film which was titled Hunting Humans. Holly's mother, Jeanette, raised Holly's child, but she passed away in March 2017 after Holly's body was found. She found her daughter, which must have brought her some solace, but she did not live to see justice rendered. The trial of Michael Gene Horvath finished in June 2022 with a guilty verdict. The prosecution was seeking the death sentence, but it took another 3 months for the final sentence. On September 8, 2022, Michael Horvath was sentenced to life in prison in Monroe County. After hearing the sentence, Michael said, "I am sorry for their loss, but Judge, I did not commit this murder, and I am going to fight this till the end." What do you think of the sentence of Michael Horvath? And what are your views on the final statement of Michael? We'd love to know your thoughts in the comments section below. Meanwhile, please subscribe to our channel. Until we meet again, stay safe and keep watching Mysterious Hook.